of a recovery week this week, and I have gotten a lot of insane response about the tennis ball technique I use to help with my recovery. A lot of you guys have seen that I'm constantly like sitting on, rolling on, working with a tennis ball. This is basically part of my recovery called trigger point. Because for whatever reason, my body is just susceptible to getting a lot of muscular trigger points, which cause muscle tightness for me, causes a lot of just like different aches and pains. It inhibits my range of motion a lot, particularly when I'm working out. And so I use a tennis ball to help me release these trigger points.
Do it again.
But you're basically gonna find that space right in between your spine and your shoulder blade. So your shoulder blade's that bony section, kind of more laterally. Obviously your spine is your spine. And you're gonna find, that fleshy part there with all the muscles running up your back. And just drop your elbow down. And I will give you guys fair warning, I would recommend starting slow and trying to support a little bit of your body weight before you just like totally collapse to the floor. Because this can get a little gnarly. Like I said, we're looking for trigger points, we're looking for those kind of small knotted pieces of muscle tissue. And those can be a little bit gnarly to release. So start slow, ease into it, breathe. Breath is a super important part of this process. And I'm gonna roll up my back, a little bit closer to my trap muscles, these like top sections right here. And we're just gonna see what we find. And you're just gonna breathe into this. So like I said, I wanna do this because I feel like a lot of people have been reacting to these videos and this technique like it's some sort of like magical woo-woo. It's really not. It's really just taking a little bit of time out of your day to focus on this. I mean, this video is maybe gonna be like 6 or 7 minutes, and you'll just be releasing probably the one shoulder. I try to spend at least 30 minutes total throughout my day doing some sort of release like this, and I usually do it in like 10 to 15 minute increments. If I have time to do a full 30, then that's amazing, but you don't have to it could take me 3 hours to do my entire body, and like, let's be honest, nobody's got 3 hours to foam roll. So, alright, I'm kind of moving through my shoulder, kind of getting up higher towards that actual trap muscle, seeing if I can find a spot. Another cool addition to this is changing the angle of your muscle by changing the position of your arm. So I'm not really getting much different here, but for a lot of people, wow, this overhead position, yeah, that's as far as I got. This overhead position gets really gnarly. Ooh, you see that release I just got? That was all the breath. All right, let's see if I can get a little higher. That's about as far as I go. All right, now it's interesting because I feel this like up in my neck. And all of these muscles are connected. All the muscles in your neck, down into your collarbone, your pec. Wow, as I'm doing this, like my pec is super stretched out right now. This is wild. All right, let's see if I can get a little higher. I think that might be as high as I go for right now. And this isn't about forcing anything. I mean, that's also like the beauty of this recovery technique, is that it's really just about feeling out what your body can do that day. And you'll find the more often you do it, let's try going overhead. The more often you do it, the deeper you'll get into some of these movements. And this is crazy because this is like all in my lat right now. Oh my goodness. And keep in mind, I haven't even moved the ball like, as I've been doing this. I've literally just been moving my arm around the ball and letting things stretch out and relax. Let's see if I can get a release here. See how much release I just got? I couldn't do that 45 seconds ago. Oh. Alright, now I'm gonna assist my arm back down. Oh my goodness, I got so much release in my neck just from doing that. And it's actually kind of interesting because I've been getting really gnarly headaches. I actually got like my first migraine in forever yesterday. And I think it's because you can just follow along with me here, or you don't have to, just enjoy it. But I think that migraine was because the muscles in my neck and shoulders have been so tight recently. And yeah, it's just like crept up into my head because I woke up and half my face was like, meh. I was like, I don't like you today. Oh my gosh. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is first things first, I'm gonna carefully just roll to my side a little bit, roll off the ball, and first things first, just lay out on the floor and feel the difference between your shoulders right now. Like, I literally feel like my right shoulder is like stuck to the ceiling and my left shoulder is like, it's just kind of wild. So I'm gonna stay on the left shoulder because I want to show you guys a couple other things, but if you guys want to move on to your right shoulder and do the same thing, that's fine. I'm gonna keep going here. So now you're gonna roll onto your side, and we're gonna do a little bit more. Yeah, I think we'll do a little bit more into the sides today. So this one I want you guys to kind of ease into as well. I know you're thinking now that you're, wow, all released and such that it's gonna be a piece of cake, but it's not. So now we're getting into a little bit deeper into the actual muscles. There we go. Into your scaps, which pretty much all connect like right underneath your armpit. I feel like that's a pretty solid statement. And when these muscles get tight, they pull on your lats, they pull on your traps, they pull on all the muscles in your neck, and they pull your shoulders forward, and they pull on your pecs. That's the big one that I was supposed to mention. And all of these tight muscles will pull your shoulders forward. So I'm gonna kind of ease into this. Ooh, did you see that shoulder drop? That was lovely. And get in tune with yourself in that respect. Like, take some breath and just feel the muscles release around you, because like I said, this is not something that you should or need to force. This is something that if your body is ready to release the muscle, it will. And my rule of thumb is typically, if it hasn't released after like 2 to 3 minutes, move on to somewhere else close by. Because typically if you've got like a trigger point or a knot that isn't releasing after about 2 to 3 minutes of just like laying on it, focusing on the breath, usually the culprit is something else that's really tight that's close by. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes like the culprit is actually really far away. I have had my hip pain before that was coming up from my left shoulder, which like it's like a solid 2 feet of space in between that. So it's not always the case, but often that's the issue. Wow, I just got a big release there. All right, let's see if I can do that. Alrighty. So for the sake of time, I am going to cut this off here and do my other shoulder because I actually have to start my day. But like I said, I just wanted to go over this technique with you because so many people
were like just really interested in seeing it happen and like seeing my foam rolling, which I love and I really appreciate, but I want you guys to do this at home because it's so easy and it's so beneficial. And oh my gosh, my shoulder feels great. So I hope your shoulder feels awesome too. Do your right side as well, because that, yeah, you just don't want to be walking around kind of like, but anyway, I hope you found this helpful and I hope you guys have a great day. And if you want to see anything else rolled out, hips, quads, calves, leave me a comment, whatever you want done, and I will post that video for you guys up next. All right.